Assalamu alaikum, dear students of class 5, unit number 1, topic flower production, page number 8. Today we will discuss about the structure of flower in the plant. You are seeing a typical flower. After germination, the seedling grows into adult plant. When adult plant bears flowers, and flowers contain the male and female reproductive organ of flowering plant. These parts are called stamen or male reproductive organ या male organ. First part is called filament, a tube-like structure. The swollen part is called anther. In the anther there is a pollen sacs. Pollen sacs mean जिसके अंदर जो है वो पोलन मौजूद होंगे, pollen grains. Pollen grains are important structure which transferred from one point to another point. We will discuss in later. So this structure is called male organ, and the other part of the flower is called female organ, in which first part is called stigma, swollen part, and style, tube-like structure which connected stigma to ovary. This whole structure is called ovary, and within the ovary you are seeing ovules. Ovules carry eggs. Pollen grains travel from anther to stigma and then reach in the ovule. You draw this diagram and also label it. It is very important so that you can understand the structure of flower, and after that you can understand the term fertilization, the term okay ji. In a detail, here is a discuss about the male organ is called stamen. The stamen consists of a stalk called filament and anther which carries the pollen grain. The other name of male organ is called stamen. While the female organ is called carpel, 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 and the carpel consists of sigma, style, ovary and ovule. You are again see that this whole structure is called carpel, which consists of stigma, style, ovary and ovule, and this part is called male organ, which consists of filament and anther. In anther pollen grains are exist, and these two structure are consist in within a flower, one flower containing a male and female organs. You are seeing there is also a typical flower, colorful flower. First point, this rod like structure is called stalk, and these are green like structure beneath the petals are called sepals, which protect the internal part when flower are in a small size or in a bud form. After the blooming, these are colorful petals. In the middle there is a carpel, female reproductive part, and you see the surrounding covered by the male reproductive part. You also draw this diagram and label it. First point is that pollen grains are dust-like structure. Substances found on the anther, they contain the male reproductive part. The anther is found on the top of filament. It contains pollen sacs which release pollen grain when ripe. जब pollen anther जो है वो ripe हो जाता है, पक जाता है, mature हो जाता है, तो उसके अंदर से pollen grain जो है वो disperse होते हैं. The filament is a thin stalk supporting the anther. Just this whole structure, these three boxes explain about the male reproductive organ, male reproductive part. The other discussing about stigma, first part of the carpel is commonly seen in the center of the flower. It is covered in a sticky substances to allow pollen grains to stick them. The style, the further parts, the style rises stigma to increase the flower chances of pollination. Petals usually are brightly colored, some are scented to attract insects, and the other part of the carpel is ovary. Ovary contain and protect the ovules, and ovule contain the female reproductive part called eggs. Egg exists there and pollen exists there. So this is the whole complete structure working of flower. This is a perfect flower. The flower containing male and female reproductive organ both. This is called perfect flower. But there is an also example of imperfect flower. Flower contain both the male and female organ called perfect flower. There are also the flower that are imperfect, just like male flower contain only stamens and the female flower contain only stigma or ovary. This is the lecture about the structure of flower. Flower structure is categorized into two, male organ and female organ, and the further divided male organ into filament, anther and pollen grains या pollen sac, and the female organ is further divided into stigma, style, ovary, ovule which carrying eggs. And flower also categorized into two, perfect flowers or imperfect flowers.